All right, and welcome back to episode 056 of the OK Podcast, powered by the Strength Co. I'm your host, Grant Broggi, joined with, let's see, we got the OPSO here, Major Jeff Buege from the greater Mormon area of Salt Lake City.
I'm on the line.
And Mr. Trey Gottlich, once a Marine, always a Marine, as we've always said. We've never stopped saying it. Joining us from Odessa. Did I get that right?
Close. No. Not really.
Not ever close. Never do. Today is January 23rd in the year of our Lord 2025. And, you know, in politics, they say there's a September surprise, October surprise, August surprise. There's a surprise. Some
Ides
of
of
you,
March.
yeah, March surprise, Ides of March. Yeah. Floyd Mayweather, because he's in May, all those things. Anyway, with that said, you may have woken up yesterday by the time you hear this and think the OK Podcast is over. Grant's buddy finally was downrange drinking coffee and had no time to record. I'm sad. I understand you're sad, but we're still here. The show goes on. Episode 056556 for you Marine Corps types. And the price of Bitcoin is $103,261.
Wow.
And I'm no mathematician. But if I were to take the starting number when we started this podcast of $44,200 in January 4th, 2024, and if I were to just do that quick math in my head, prison math, bigger number goes on top and come out with a percentage, and I use two forks, I would come out to 133% increase. So we can't afford to stop doing this podcast. It doesn't matter what our sponsors pay us. Shout out Mr. Helmet and BW Tax. Bitcoin is just on the move. So it's January 23rd in the year of our Lord 2025. Donald Trump is president. We'll probably talk about that a little bit because that's been interesting. A lot of things going on. But first, I just didn't want to do a roll call. I always want to do a roll call, make sure we have everything here. Let me just kick it to the three. You want to go ahead and do the roll call, make sure everybody's here.
Yeah, okay. Looks like we got we got Godfather 6. Godfather 6, okay.
Actual.
We've got, looks like our logistics officer over there.
Alpha.
Untrained, unqualified.
Hey, three. I don't want to stop you mid tracks, but we generally do this by warfighting function. We're gonna start with that, man. You're jumping around, getting to the best firing battery and the best logistician there ever was. Can we do it by warfighting function? And please, I don't want any warfighting function to forget it. We're here for the trash. Yeah, just
True,
cover that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, Copso,
Let's just go ahead.
Put both hats on.
We'll jump right to it. Kind of main line here on the agenda is the trash, gentlemen. It's a problem. I'm noticing a lot of trash, a lot of debris rolling around the area. You know, we got plastic. I don't even know what that's from. We've got MRE trash. We've got MRE heaters. We got stuff not separated. We've got dip bottles. We've got finishing knots, fishing line stuff. We've got
personal items.
Cans, personal items. Okay, those do not go in the heads. Okay, I cannot stress that enough. Personal items, your Zin pouches, your lip that you're packing, right? Your books on parenting, right? Those do not belong in the head. Okay, you need to stow that gear properly under your chair in your assault pack that you're going to take on your assault, or a 3-day pack. It could be a 3-day assault. We don't know. But the trash is an issue. It's our main priority. Okay, the commander cares the most about trash first and foremost.
Hey,
trash is our priority.
If I may, three, real quick, team, just if I may, real quick, Trash Chicks here. I just want to say, we're going through all these different things, and we're learning a bunch as we do, and that's part of training. We learn, but one of the things we have to do, one of the things we're going to face in the next fight is trash. Okay, and if we're not securing it here at home, we're not going to get it in China, and we're not going to get it in the West. And we're not going to get it at the edge of the empire. Okay. So team, I need you guys to take the trash seriously. Trash 6 out. Go
trash
ahead.
Actual.
It's great point. It's a great point from Trash 6, right? China is taking their trash seriously. I'm pretty sure they have no trash over there in all of China. So please take care of the trash. All right. Tell your Marines, take care of the trash.
Yeah.
And save rounds.
You want to kick it over to the one?
Yeah, let's go down to the one. Wait, is the one on the line? Is the one you on the line?
No, I'm going to just going to cover down for the one. So all personnel are accounted for. And if you are eating MREs, it comes with a heater. Make sure to secure that trash, but that will be checked from your pay. So if you're RBE, I need those names. If you are not in the field, I want those names so you're not getting checked for your chow. Besides that, sir, I have nothing to brief.
Thank you. The Deuce. Intel.
Nothing for the group.
Okay. Thank you. So glad you are part of this unit. So glad that your occupational field exists. Okay. We talked about the trash. 4, kick it over to you.
Have we covered the trash yet?
Can't cover it enough. Please.
Can't even touch it.
How are we transporting the trash? How are we going to refuel our trash?
No, just throw it all in the back of the 7-ton.
Do we need to separate it at all?
The trash?
Yeah.
Yeah, ideally.
Okay.
Good trash, bad trash.
Okay, yeah. Secure the trash. Okay.
Secure.
There's never a 5, which is weird unless you're at a company level. So we'll skip the 5. Over to 6. Trey, how's your mic sounding?
Does it sound good?
Yeah, I feel like you're doing point to group, which is good. I prefer point to point, but I feel like your signature's low. We're good.
That's good.
Well, you always tell me I'm too much. I'm too hot.
Yeah, too hot, too much gains. I feel like we've done our due diligence to make sure that everyone knows that we're here. We care about the trash and the mission. Hey, mission first, podcast always. That's what I've always said.
Were you a point to point guy on Land Nav?
I was more a point. I was a point to Jeff guy. So I would start at a point and I would find Jeff, and then he would find the box, and then I would write the letters down.
Yeah, and you would get his answer wrong.
Yeah, and then I get
wrong. I don't know. I just found any box I could find.
it's red and in the woods. Let me write this down.
So excited to find just a box.
Hell yeah, brother!
Momentous occasion.
Yeah. And with that, why don't you take us through the agenda?
Okay,
that was it.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff here that's can be wrapped up into one subject. So I'm going to start. Well, let's just kick it off with the national championship.
Yeah, let's do that.
Grant, I don't imagine you had much of a chance to view it.
Oh, I watched the whole thing. My buddy was busy, but I watched the whole thing.
Okay, good. Okay.
Well, I'm just talking about America. America didn't watch it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch 1 second.
Viewership was down significantly, I think.
Well, so I wanted to say, forget my buddy for a second. Why was the national championship on a Monday night? Is that normal?
Couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell you. That seemed weird to me.
I feel like it was during the week.
It was during the week last time. The NFL owns the weekends this time of year.
Okay, so NFL. They're kind of so you're asking for a co-use. You got to put it in RIFMIS. Co-use.
Yeah, they went on to RIFMIS and they saw that it was already booked, and there was It was okay. Surface danger zone hazard, so they couldn't get on the range, and they denied them co-use. Roger Goodell, NFL 6 said no dice.
NFL 6, got it. I didn't watch any of it. Ohio State just beat the brakes off them, but Notre Dame had a rally at the end. Is that what I gathered from that?
I think Ohio State was in control pretty much the whole time.
Yeah. Did you watch it, Trey?
I caught glimpses of it. I was flipping back and forth. Like I saw Notre Dame score. I'm like, oh, this could be interesting. And then
was
like
that
Ohio
between
State,
like that and American Idol, or what were you flipping back and forth?
That was more exciting.
Okay.
Like Notre Dame scored like off the rip, and then Ohio State then scored like 3 unanswered touchdowns. It was up like 21. I can't remember what the score was at halftime. And I was like, oh man. They're just
I think it was
21-7.
Yeah, 21-7, yeah.
It felt like they were in control the whole time, even when Notre Dame like tried to make it a game.
So flashback, it's early August, late August. It's me, you, BW Tax, good guy, better at taxes. And we're watching Notre Dame play. We're going to beat the ever-living out of them. We love to beat the F out of them. Go Aggies, farmers fight. And we're watching them play the Aggies. Did you think at that moment that Notre Dame would be in the national championship?
Absolutely not. I'm like,
me neither.
They barely beat A&M.
Yeah. That's what you've always said. If you barely beat A&M, you're definitely not winning the national
You're
championship.
definitely not. Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan Day sucks.
If you have to dye your beard,
Oh, he dyes his beard.
Well, just look at it. Do you think that's natural?
I'm going to be honest. Haven't been looking at a lot of portraits of Ryan Day lately.
Oh, that's all I look at.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, man. What were you doing out in the field? That's all I do in the field.
My
Just look up Ryan Day pictures.
My S2 has not been giving me the IPB and on Ryan Day lately. Okay, dyes his beard. Yeah, so they win. Yeah. I did see some funny memes today about the SEC freezing over. So my buddy's been a little busy, like text messages, not super responsive. I did see my family chat popping off, and it was interesting because it was my dad in his yard with snow, and I'm from the slow country, so down there in the low country, and they got snow, and
they got a lot of snow, right?
They got I mean,
like relatively.
For that area of the country.
If your entry argument's snow, it's a lot. I forgot where I was going with that, but I have no idea where I was going with that. But yeah, it snowed in South Carolina.
Florida, New Orleans got like 9 inches.
Oh, that's where I was going with it. Yeah. No, someone said if the Big Ten wins back-to-back national championships, SEC will freeze over. And they had photos of Georgia and LSU stadiums completely covered in snow. That's where I was going with it, which was pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, the Big Ten, more like the big win.
Just sad. Oh, yeah. Whatever. SEC is going to win the national championship next year.
That's what you've always said.
We're a basketball.
Auburn's going to win it.
We are a basketball.
Yeah. We've always said that. Always been a basketball conference.
We're a basketball conference.
We're talking women's basketball, right?
Right.
You can talk women's, you can talk men's, you can talk any basketball.
All basketball.
Yeah.
It could be little kids, it could be old men. Yeah.
Gamecocks are number 2 in the country. Talking about the female types. They play Tennessee on Monday. They've been taking names, and they're 19-1. They just put the big can of whoop ass on the Oklahoma Sooners, 101-60.
They can do the same thing to A&M.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, gig them. That's what I always say.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
Auburn men, number 1, 17-1.
Still. Huh?
Ooh, are they number 1?
Number 1.
You're talking men's,
unanimous.
I
Yeah, men's.
Yeah, okay, sorry. More of a female basketball guy, personally. Yeah.
A&M had a buzzer beater last night.
Men's or women's?
Men's.
Yeah, it's confusing.
The women's just beat Kentucky tonight.
That's it. Go.
So college football's over. Are you guys sad? Jeez, guys, don't put it all on me. What do you want me to call the P-hop?
A little bit.
I
was kind of ready for it to be done. This playoff did not do it for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of agree with Jeff. And this, I love college football, but man, this seemed to drag out a long time.
Oh, so okay.
I loved the 14 playoff.
So I know you guys love Notre Dame and Ohio State. They're like your 2 favorite teams. But were you angry at the end of the season? Not that you're angry, but were you disappointed because it was those 2 teams? Or did it seem too long? Because I'm of the opinion it's too long. Like, I kind of want Christmas hits. It's New Year's Day. And then it's like you go back to work. And then it's like, man, I can't believe I'm back to work. It's a new year. Oh, I got the national championship. I got like one more Monday before I slog through winter. And now it's basically summer here. I mean,
pretty much.
Yeah. Here in 29
Yeah, the snow's all about to melt. The flowers are going to start
pretty
blooming in South Carolina.
Yeah, spring has sprung.
I think it was the teams that I did not care about that made it long.
Maybe a little bit of both.
The first round was like completely none of the games were good.
Pointless.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know, not exciting to watch.
So it happens when you keep the Gamecocks out.
She said clip I sent you of during the inauguration, someone called into C-SPAN to complain about Alabama.
Yeah, I did see that one.
Not being in the
That was
playoffs.
good. That was good. That was good. Yeah, that was good.
Classic Alabama.
Well, should we put a lid on this season?
Or do we want to? It was a late entry into the slide deck.
Hey, real quick, Trash Six here. Listen, gents, update your slides. Okay, we're getting a lot of late slides. The slides got to go to Garbage Six 3 days before, and they go to Dumpster Six even before that. So I need you guys to update your slides. I've seen a lot of late additions on teams, and I don't like that. I don't like when I go in to view the slides to show the boss, and I see users in there. So your slides are due 1,500 on Wednesdays. Update the slides. But with that said, we're just going to count this as a save round. Deuce, just hide that one. Just hide it. Put it in the bottom. If the boss asks about it, we'll bring it up. It was late entry. Just hide that slide, but go ahead and brief it.
Grant has PTSD from PowerPoint.
Yes.
I don't have PTSD. I have that's post-traumatic. I have CTSD.
You have current traumatic
trauma.
I am traumatized. But Jeff, go ahead and brief. Go ahead and brief your slide.
There'll be some listeners though that will get all these jokes, but for those that are not in the military, have not sat through a brief of any sort or a conference call, these are all insanely accurate as far as how they all go. This is the best. Late entry.
Real quick, Trash Six. I just want to say, some of you guys don't know what's going on. Okay. And this is about the guy on the ground. So if you're not going home and bringing this down to the lowest echelon, you're wrong. You're wrong. And if I find that out, you're going to be in my office. Okay. All right. That's all. Thanks, team.
Who was that? Was that Trash Six?
Trash Six, yeah.
Yeah,
Trash Six.
He's a real fire
Not to be
breather.
confused with Garbage Six.
Or Dumpster Six.
I mean, are you guys giving me garbage battery now?
Yeah. That would be so good. For those that don't know, six means like commander. PJ, six means commander. So just put a Dunkin' Donuts, have it go across the bottom of the screen.
Dunkin' Six.
Yeah, Dunkin' Six.
I call Abby Kitchen Six. She still didn't get it.
She didn't get it. One day.
Yeah.
Anyway, brief that slide.
Late entry to the slide deck is the ESPN put out like a way too early top 25. I was going to say if we wanted to go through the top 10.
Heck yeah.
We're starting at 10 though, as we always do.
Oh yeah, starting at 10. Grant, you'll like this one. They've got.
You're not going to start at number
Gamecocks.
1.
Oh, we're at number 10.
Number 10, South Carolina.
I like
South
that.
Kakalaka.
Yeah.
The real USC.
There's a lot of returning starters, right?
Yeah, a lot of returning starters.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what really did it for guys not going to the transfer portal is Grok made all SEC coaches as AI from movie characters, and Shane Beamer was picked as Mark Wahlberg, which is like the perfect storm. So I'm pretty sure we're going to win the national championship.
That's George Clooney.
Yeah.
You said perfect storm?
Yeah, perfect storm. My bad. I'm not a movie.
Is Mark Wahlberg in that?
I thought so.
I didn't mean to make.
Oh yeah, I think he is. I think it's Mark Wahlberg and George Clooney.
I was just using a figure of speech.
Oh, my bad, dude. Yeah. Oh, okay. They were talking about movies.
Yeah.
You know. Hey, all right. The number 9. This one's for me. BYU Cougars coming in number 9. Mormon Land.
Already overrated.
Yeah, I think so.
Guys, listeners, I just want you to know, if you're putting in your bets for your futures and your stuff, we did so good last year predicting things.
Listen to what I'm telling you.
Yeah. If there's 3 guys you want to listen to in college football, these are the 3.
Yeah. Go ahead, place all your Bitcoin on the bets that we tell you to.
It's a lot of coin.
Number 8. LSU Tigers.
LSU.
Bayou Bengals.
I don't understand that.
I don't either. I guess their quarterback's coming back. And
They were
I don't know. I was not impressed really with them.
No, they were. Again, you lost to A&M.
That's Trace.
There's
That's my gauge right there.
That's your entry argument.
That's fine.
Number 7. Clemson. I don't
I don't see it.
I don't see it.
Who made this?
ESPN. I think
Dabo Sweeney.
Yeah,
That's Dabo made it.
Oh yeah, article written by Dabo Sweeney.
Humble brag.
Okay, number 6, Oregon Ducks.
I could see that.
I don't know. I guess
I'd be curious
they get
who's quarterback.
Quarterback to come in. Yeah, because there's still one more transfer portal, right? There's gonna be one. In the spring.
There's a
Is that
spring
right?
one.
Okay.
Yeah. It's on MUOS. Pointed group.
Okay. Yeah. Mua. Number 5, Georgia Bulldogs.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like Kirby's done.
Ooh.
Mm.
Ooh.
I don't think he's getting fired, but I think this year, I think the Georgia era is done. There's no dynasty.
lost the last
They got
team?
2. Yeah, I think they're done.
Okay. I don't disagree with that.
Oh.
I think that's
I
kinda
do.
Mm.
They recruit too well.
Here we go. Number 4, Notre Dame fighting Irish.
Seriously, I thought you were going to say "Saw Varsity's home."
They're probably one.
Bum, bum, bum.
If it's ESPN, they're probably one.
Notre Dame, yeah. I mean, leave them there. They love. If there's one thing Notre Dame loves to do, it's lose national championships. So, leave them in the top 5 so they have a shot.
That's fine. They open up. Actually, no. A&M plays them at the beginning again.
Again, first game.
I think it's second or third game.
Wow.
Please talk to the boys down in College Station.
Oh, I'm gonna go down there and give them a little pep. I'm gonna give them a little pep talk.
Get them to win. I just need Notre Dame to catch like 3 losses quickly, so they're just out of the picture. And it's just good. We can.
So Trey, I know you said pep talk. In Texas, we call that a midnight yell. I know you think you're Irish, but we don't like Irish. We're from Texas. We're basically Mexican. Can I get a whoop?
You look like one of the munchkins from the Lollipop Guild.
That's what the last guy looked like, honestly.
We represent the lollipop.
We represent men in white coats looking like janitors. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Anyway.
That's good.
Shout out Grant's brother-in-law.
Yeah, shout out Grant's brother-in-law, yeah. GRC, Grant Castleberry. Go follow him on Twitter. I think he's GRC. Truth, Unashamed Truth is his podcast. Pretty big. You Southern Baptist types that listen to this, if you don't know who Grant Castleberry is, go check him out. We forgive him for his head yell leader sins, just as Jesus does.
Okay. Entering the top 3. Penn State Nittany Lions.
Oh my gosh.
Again, I'm like, I don't, sure they got, I don't know. I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. I'm curious on 2 and 1. Let me guess. You already
Ohio
did Oregon.
State, Texas.
Oh, yeah. It's Ohio State, Texas. Yeah. In that order, I'm going to say Texas is 1 because they had the top recruiting class.
Yeah.
Texas is
number 2.
There
Number
we go.
2 is Texas.
Yeah. Sorry. That was my MD COA. My ML COA was Texas.
ML,
is number 1.
yep.
Yeah.
And then number 1, defending champions, Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well,
let's see. Other college footballs. It sounds like they're going to try to make some tweaks to the playoff. They're not
They
opposed
have like a plan?
There could be some tweaks. I would love to see some tweaks. They're probably just going to add more teams. They're going to be like, we're going to have 500 teams in the playoff.
Go back
everyone
down
goes to the
tomorrow.
playoffs. Yeah.
Go to BCS.
Yeah. Big BCS
just comes
guy.
back to the BCS.
It just,
I always liked it. Broggi's college standing. I mean, I thought it was
There you
great. Yeah. It's like Broggi bait. All right.
Okay.
We're leaving college. Wait, with that, the guy called in to the inauguration. I feel like we should talk a little politics. Now that we talk politics. I mean, we do talk politics.
Podcast.
Yeah, I love talking politics. Well, actually, my favorite thing to say now is I'm not talking politics. I'm just talking about the commander in chief. And now you can't say anything to me. But yeah, interesting. Like 4,000 executive orders signed day one.
That's like a
Was
busy
it that
first
many?
day.
I don't know that it was
go through?
4,000, but it was a lot. It was like the gender one. It was like the birther one. It was the pardons of the January 6th people. It was a lot. It's been interesting because my buddy's been hanging out with a lot of like field grade officers, like people that are thinking about strategy. And it's interesting their inputs because they're all kind of like, I don't know. We might be going to Panama. And I'm just like, Panama. But it's kind of interesting. Like the military's like, so we're going to Greenland. We're just going to buy that. It's kind of interesting.
Don't know if it's for sale, but okay.
Yeah. I do want to shout out Carrie Underwood. Did anyone watch that?
I saw her music. I saw a clip of it. Her music.
Yeah. So my buddy was like shooting a Fisk-X. So there's like runs and we were in between runs. And so like I put it on and then like every time a Marine walked by, not me, my buddy, he was like, hey, get over here. It's your commander in chief. Watch this. It was like Manifest Destiny. Elon was dancing around autistically. And then Carrie Underwood came out and like they had the band, but it wasn't the Marine Corps band. First problem. It was some other type of band, like a joint force band. And like this music wouldn't play. And I called it. I was like, she's going to go a cappella. And she's like, I think you know the words. And then she sang it and it was pretty good. So yeah, I watched probably about 6 minutes of it. And then I had Hueys and Cobras coming in. I had to go. But
doing a little C ad.
Oh yeah.
Mix section.
I love a good mix section. But yeah, anyway, Trump won. Kind of interesting. And then you like what? Fauci got pardoned.
Dude, that was what was weird there at the end. He was like, well, there's nothing, we're going to pardon you for nothing you've been charged with.
So I think that's interesting. And like, I don't think we have, I don't know what our political spectrum is here, but I do think it's interesting because like Trump he said that all the military that was removed from the military for rejecting the COVID vaccine could come back, be reinstated with back pay. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? Is that like as truthful as you're putting the flag on Mars? And like, are you talking back pay? Like I've been out for 3 years. I'm going to get paid for all that. But I thought that was interesting. And the reason I bring that up is because, so he's like coming out like, and I'm like, brother, you made this vaccine. Like that's my least favorite thing about Trump. It's like you made the vaccine. But then you have like on the other side, like Biden's like pardoning Fauci. Any way you cut the dice, roll the dice, cut the deck.
Check. Cut the dice.
Fauci's sketch. But as I always say, buy American, buy cast iron pans, buy cast iron plates.
Where would you go to do your taxes?
BW Tax. Yeah. Great guy, better at taxes. Yeah.
He's never received no pardon. Doesn't need it.
Doesn't need it. I mean, what I would like to say is where there's smoke, there's smoke. And, but apparently where there's smoke, there's fire with Fauci.
Oh,
anyway,
I saw some people like were given a pardon, but didn't accept it.
Ooh, that's baller right there.
So I think it was like some of the people who
stay
like
in jail.
Prosecuted. They're like, no, they're like, I didn't do anything wrong.
You don't understand my home life. I'd rather be here. Kind of tough.
Sleep a lot better in jail.
Yeah, sleep a lot better in jail. But yeah, anyway, new president. Interesting times. Going to be interesting. See what happens.
Yeah.
Panama. I always thought that was animal for a long time.
Animal.
Yeah, I think at one point I thought the same thing.
Yeah,
definitely didn't. The first time I heard it, I definitely didn't realize it was Panama.
I'd love to go take over Panama and like get a medal for like.
Panama. I don't think they're saying the country Panama.
What do you think they're talking about?
Pandemonium.
Saying Panama.
It's called
you
Panama.
think that song's about the country Panama?
Panama.
I don't know what it's about, but that's what they're saying.
I think it was forecasting Trump coming into office and taking back McKinley's gift.
Let me look at these.
Ain't nothing like it. Her shiny machine got the feel for the wheel. Keep the moving parts clean. Hot shoe burning down the avenue. Got an on-ramp coming through my bedroom. Don't you know she's coming home with me? You'll lose her in the turn. I'll get her. Whoa. Well, I think the song's about Dale Earnhardt, actually. Dale Earnhardt. Yeah, anyway.
Dale Earnhardt.
I mean, it kind of works.
Yeah.
All right.
Could be.
Next slide.
Could be. Okay. Covered that. All right. We'll do this one. I feel like this will be a quick one before we jump into, I think, the big topics. How do you boys feel about unflavored sparkling water?
Oh.
So I quickly make it flavored.
Is that like Perrier? Like
a LaCroix, but pure, or
Topo Chico?
Is there an unflavored LaCroix?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Call it pure.
LaCroix.
It's like that kind of like lighter blue can.
Oh, never seen that.
And then Polar makes one.
Save
Topo
round.
Chico is
Save round. Apparently Panama's a car.
I really think he was forecasting the 2025 election.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted that saved rounds in. Back to the pure flavored. Not a fan.
I like Topo Chico a lot.
By itself, or does it have to have a lime?
I actually hate the lime flavored Topo Chico.
No, natural. Like if you have a natural
lime, like a little wedge of lime.
I mean, Jeff, you were at my wedding. Was there limes in your Topo Chico? No, there's just a canoe full of Topo Chicos.
Yeah. Oh, that was great.
Yeah, it's great.
There should always just be a canoe of Topo Chicos everywhere.
I've always said that. Like, to be expeditionary, there should be a canoe of Topo Chicos floating next to you.
That's how Lewis and Clark discovered the West.
Yeah, seriously. It was like right after the Wright brothers, except they didn't discover flight, but don't get me started.
That was in South Carolina, wasn't it?
North, but it's also fake news. But yeah, don't get me started.
Sensitive subject. Did not
Very
read
sensitive.
Great hates the Wright brothers.
So let me just put you this way.
I kind of want to get you started.
If you're not a member of Slack, you need to be a member of Slack. We have a really interesting, diverse group of lifters and people. You want to talk about lifting? You want to talk about food? You want to talk about football? You want to talk about fun? Join the Slack channel. You want your form checked. You can get your form checked. It's $29 a month. Use code OK and you save $10. And join the Slack channel. In our Slack channel, we have the descendant, North Carolina native, Jeff Graham. I actually don't know if he's North Carolina native. He might be Georgia, but his heritage hails from the hills of the Western Carolinas. And he has very convincingly convinced me that the Wright brothers were not the first to flight, and it was his great grandparents. And I could put the data in the Slack. You join and you say, Grant, I'm here for a conspiracy theory. And I would just write you back and say, in the Slack channel, we call that an observation. And then I would send you the link to the article. So yeah, join the Slack channel. But yeah, anyway, the Wright brothers. But what were we talking about?
Unflavored sparkling water.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's what we always talk about. I like Topo Chicos. I don't know that I've had like when you go to a fancy restaurant and they're like, would you like wine? And you're like, no, I'd like water. And they're like, how about this bottle of water that costs as much as wine? And I'm like, yeah, sure. That one.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it has to have a lime. It has to have some sort of fruit.
Okay.
But I agree with Grant. I think that lime Topo Chico is not as good as a straight Topo Chico with a lime.
I don't think I've ever had a flavored Topo Chico.
Yeah, it comes. If I
Sounds like I don't need to.
You don't need to.
The grapefruit one's not bad.
I hate to like just constantly rip on Texas, which is great on paper. It is. It's great on paper. But like Texas serves Topo Chico in plastic bottles. And the carbonation is way less. And it's not near as good.
Where did you go? I've never had that.
Wichita Falls.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a town.
But like, have you guys seen the Topo Chicos? It's like in a fat water bottle. It's
it's kind of a weird shaped bottle.
Yeah, it's a weird shaped bottle. Yeah, it's not good. The glass bottle, even, and I'm a glass bottle fan, big glass guy. But even the large Topo Chicos in the glass bottles aren't as good. It's the small glass bottles that have the like correct carbonation, in my opinion, for what that's worth.
Okay.
Yeah. Put that down as an AAR.
These ones are pretty good.
Ooh, Rumble.
What is
I will
this?
say that.
Ramble.
Rambler. So the light's kind of hitting it weird. Actually, yeah, the Massonomics guys just.
Ooh. Is that sparkling water or like a non-alcoholic beer or both?
It's sparkling water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Rambler. Unflavored one, I think, is the best.
Nice.
It's from Texas.
This ain't
Is it
Texas.
really?
Woo.
It's from Austin, I think.
They
hail from. It's a limestone mineral blend, is what they're touting.
Probably a bunch of dorks made it.
Seriously.
It's great, though. It's great.
Are we about to go to a new slide? Are we done with water?
We can go to a new slide.
No, let's stick on this water for a little bit longer.
Okay, like another 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So real quick,
welcome to
if
the
we're
water
talking
patch.
about water, my buddy goes to the field, 140 guys, no big dildo, and goes out there and never seen this in my buddy's 13, 14, where we're at, year career. And they're like, sir, the water's non-potable. And I'm like, it's the water buffalo. Like, it's always potable. And they're like, no, it's non-potable. I'm like, I've been drinking it for 2 hours. And like, attention in the pause, attention in the pause, attention in the pause. Do not drink the water buffalo. And I'm like, man, what did that buffalo get into? And so the tests come back from our trusty corpsman, and they're like, sir, you can't drink that water. I'm like, I already drank it. So
Too late.
What's going to happen? And they're like, the pH level's off. I'm like, okay, so what do we do? And they're like, well, we don't have our testing kits. I'm like, well, how do you know it's off then? Like, well, we had one testing kit and it was off. I'm like, okay, it's like, how do you fix it? And then we'll go get more testing kits. They're like, well, we don't have the stuff to fix the water.
Cool.
And I'm like, I've never seen this ever. Like, every time there's like potable water, HM3, Smuckatelli, and then there's like a dick drawn in chalk underneath it and a signature, every time. And I'm just like, what do you mean we can't drink the water? They're like, well, sir, we need chlorine. And I'm like, chlorine? And they're like, yes, sir, to make the water palatable.
Kill
I'm
the
like, palatable
microbes.
or potable? They're like, potable. I'm like, chlorine, like the stuff you put in the pool. They're like, well, technically we just use bleach. I'm like, bleach? And he's like, yes, sir. I'm like, okay, well, like, how much bleach do you need? He's like, well, I think that's 200 gallons. I was like, no, that's 450 gallons. He's like, oh, that changes the math of how much bleach. I'm like, so what's your plan here? He's like, well, I got to call the base corpsman, drive over there, get the test strips, and then I have to get the chlorine. I'm like, is it chlorine or is it bleach? He's like, well, we call it chlorine, sir, but it's just bleach. I'm like, so it's like, are you going to call a Navy doc and just walk into the store and buy a thing of bleach? He's like, yes, sir. Like, and that's going to make it more healthy for me. He's like, of course. I'm like, okay. So no one's drinking wine. Luckily, it's cold. It's windy. Yeah. You're not dealing with heat cases. And so they go and they get the test strips and they pour bleach in that mofo until
like how much?
Well, that's what I asked. I'm like,
is that like an alarming amount of bleach?
Well, I'll put it to you this way. They're like, attention in the pause, attention in the pause, attention in the pause. The water is potable. And all the Marines were like, yeah. So I go up with I have a hydro flask. Gear Drift is a gift. I found it. And it's a great hydro flask. Immediately tatted it up with Godfather 6. So it's always been mine. And went and filled it, drank it. And I was like, man, I grew up on well water. Like I've drank funny tasting water. I feel like I'm drinking pool water. And they're like, no, sir, it's safe. And Yeah, they said they put like a half a jug of bleach in the. They said 450 gallons, but I'm like, this water bowl has like 3 leak points, and we just drove over the Delta T. Like we definitely lost 100 gallons on the way. It tasted like bleach, but anyway, we support the troops. Hey,
also, like
for the troops.
I love how they call it chlorine. Oh,
for the troops. Yeah,
they call it chlorine just because if you called it bleach, everyone would freak out.
Yeah, it's chlorine. Yeah, it's chlorine. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so that's my favorite sparkling water. It's chlorine water.
Give me a little bit of that bleach water.
Comes out sparkling from the water bowl. You're like,
clean your inside. Some of that moonshine water.
You guys want an MRE update? Sorry, off the slide deck.
Yes.
So we got all case Bs. Like. Okay. Yeah, you think you know what that means, but you don't. No diversity, and you don't think it matters until you're on day 8, and you're like,
getting all of one case is terrible.
Yeah, I want to say that the wheat snack bread has been updated and is better. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I used to think it was inedible, but they have a meal called Chicken Chunks Light, 130 calories, 42 grams of protein. And it's chicken, and it's chicken. So I often when I want to eat, I'll ask like 7, 6. Want to break bread? 7. Yeah, I do, sir. And so I like to go to an area where there's a lot of Marines. Then I open it and I'm like, pepperoni pizza slice. And someone's like, I want that. And we split them all up. So I had this Lance Corporal, no disrespect to the rank. They're the future of the Marine Corps. And I said, I'm going to make the Broggi bowl. He's like, what's that, sir? And I'm like, oh, it's like a method where you cook this chicken chunk lights or chunky chicken lights. I can't even remember what it's called.
I think it's like chicken chunk light.
Yeah. So I fold the bag down. I put the chicken in and I'm like doing all the things. And I'm like, now you need to find someone that has the beef ravioli and get their powdered hot sauce, which is made by Trans Packers. And then Lance Corp was like, trans Packers. And I'm like, oh, I get it now. And so I'm doing this like whole thing and everyone's watching my buddy. And I'm like, then at the end, I'm like, the key is you have to get a wood fired taste. And so I like light the match and then I like put it like inside the MRE and like hum it around. And they're like, oh, sir, does that make a difference? I'm like, huge difference. Like you don't understand. Tastes like wood fired pizza. So everyone's match lighting their MREs now. It's great. But the chunk and chick light, the macros are actually good. And it's a good meal. It's a good meal. You get tortillas, mayonnaise, the chicken chunks. You get Cheez-Its.
Free range.
Ooh. Yeah, free range. Oh, of course. Yeah, definitely real chicken. Yeah.
Yeah. Fresh.
Yeah, but they started making new MRE bags. That's what I wanted to rant about. Where the bottom's plastic and the top's like brown, like that you're used to, and you peel it from the top, but you can't make a bowl out of it. Yeah. This country's going to hell in a handbasket.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, seriously. George W. Bush. Anyway, next slide.
Dang. Love MREs. Okay. Yeah, I feel like we got a bunch of field related topics, so I felt like a good segue into that. Let's talk about bomb request. You want to explain to the folks what a bomb request is?
So can you explain, Jeff?
I have no idea what it stands for.
Which was my point.
BOM, but it's always like the battery gunny, the company gunny, right? Leading up to a field op is going to be like, hey, you got to get your bomb request in. What do you guys need? You guys need, we need like 700 boxes of chem lights, engineer tape, 25 rolls,
D-cell batteries,
500 yards of 550 cord, 100-mile-an-hour tape.
Oh, okay. You guys need D-cell batteries? You need 3,000 D-cell batteries? No, Gunny, I don't. Okay, I'm going to put them on the bomb. Okay. Let's talk about it in all seriousness because I really want to know what bomb stands for and I have no idea.
Bills of material.
I don't think that's it.
Okay. Just,
I mean,
don't you put your civilian brain towards this. You stay a military man. But it's a really wide spectrum. Map pins, protractors. Oh, do you need a new Gerber knife? Let me put it on the bomb request.
Put it on the bomb request.
Yeah. Trash bags to secure the trash.
Shit can liners.
Bill of materials? That can't be that simple. Is it?
As a previous 4 alpha.
True. You are a 4.
Yeah.
Have you put in a bomb request before?
Yeah. So we put in one, and I think it's like one of my favorite stories. We had a ton. We had a ton of IR chem lights.
My favorite chem lights because
they're so expensive.
They don't light up.
Crazy expensive. I can't remember how much they are per pack.
Hey, boy, I just want to take a quick pause here. Remember, if you're listening to this podcast, IR chem lights that we wasted via fraud, waste, and abuse, your tax dollars paid for. So your goal, and we're telling you, we're the front end users. We are the first responders. We are the people that get 5% discounts on Dick's Sporting Goods. Whew. Your tax money is getting wasted. So if you're doing your taxes this year, you do not want to be buying IR chem lights for the artillery battery because, brother, we never turn the lights off. And if there is a way to make sure you give the government less money, and that way is BW Tax, who is a sponsor of the OK Podcast. BW Tax, good guy, better at taxes. If you're tired of funding the Marine Corps' IR chem lights that literally sit in the back of a 7-ton for the rest of humanity, you need to call BW and just say, hey, look, I don't know what the clause is. I got this many dependents. I'm married. I own a business. I'm from South Dakota. I have a lot of different stuff going on. I don't want to fund the IR chem lights. BW is your guy. He puts your money where it needs to be spent, like artillery shells. Anyway, continue.
So I think Staff Sergeant Sanchez told
my favorite type of staff sergeant,
a Lance Cooley to, hey, go mark the perimeter or something like that. Like he was marking the pause, right, with chem lights. So he's busting these chem lights open and he's just like breaking it. He's like throwing it. He probably went through like 30 to 40 just busting. I walk over there. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, Staff Sergeant told me to like mark the pause up with the chem lights so everybody knows where to go. I'm like, yeah, but like, why do you keep breaking these? He's like, well, they're all broken. None of them are working. And I like looked at it. I'm like, dude, you just blew through like 60 IR chem lights. I'm like, they're not broken. They're like for night vision. He's like, oh, shoot, my bad, sir. And then you just flip on your NVGs and it's just like, woo. Oh, let's see for days, man. I got that. I don't think you know how much money that is, but
yeah, dude, they're expensive.
BWTaxLLC.com.
All right. Was that all on bomb request?
Oh, did you get anything good on the bomb request?
Did we get anything good on the bomb request? I'm going to go with the no because I brought my own trash bags. Couldn't find 550 cord. I mean, my favorite thing, not mine, but my buddies, is like, artillery, we're watching what's going on in Ukraine. We know cannon tubes are important. We need to put nets up, hide that signature, low EM. And it's like, why is my Marine putting in a stake with his e-tool? It's like, can we not afford hammers for the trucks? Right. I have 600 IR chem lights in the back of my truck, but I can't get like one mallet to put the things in. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Oh, well, the mallets got rejected by the suppo. He said wasn't any money in that pot of funding, but there was a lot of money from all the taxpayers for the IR chem lights. We had lots of money in that pot.
It's really fun for my buddy being a major and a reservist because there's like all this lieutenants that think like the major walks on water. And you just say things like, hey, I heard what you just told me. I'm just going to put my common sense civilian brain on and wrap it around it and give you an answer. And they're like, aye, sir. I'm like, so you just told me that there's 140 gas masks in San Diego. And you want me to take 140 Marines to San Diego to pick them up and schedule the buses and find a place for them to sleep overnight and have them pack all their gear and go down there to put them on. For the sake of argument, just let's think about it. What if one person drove there in a van and picked up all the gas masks and brought them back to where all the 140 Marines are and then issued them out? Well, sir, technically it's an if issue, which means that the Marines have to be present. Okay. I hear you. What if Godfather 6 assumes all responsibility? He signs for all of them. And then he signs them out each individually. Well, there's like an electric keypad down there that each Marine's supposed to sign. Could we bring the keypad up here? Like
nowhere to plug it in. Sorry.
It's insane. It's insane. Like, love Donald Trump or hate Donald Trump, like Elon Musk or hate Elon Musk. Elon Musk Department of Government Efficiency. Good luck, brother. Good luck.
You have a mountain to climb.
Love the concept. Never happening. Like,
you don't understand the scope of inefficiency that exists.
You do not understand whatsoever. But jump around on stage. I love it.
That's my favorite thing when people talk about like government conspiracies. I'm like, I don't know if you've actually seen the government work. I don't think they can pull that off.
They can't pull that off.
They can't pull it off.
Yeah. Besides JFK, since then.
Yeah, since then.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time.
Grassy knoll.
You know.
That was probably on accident.
Yeah. I mean, it was done by a Marine, so obviously it was efficient.
Oh, gosh. Okay, we talked about a little bit about field chow. We got field coffee, energy drinks. Does this kind of topic overlap? Are they separate? Let's hear about how you're staying caffeinated while you're out there.
Well, I think it's too. You put in the Brika pot. We sell the Brika pot at the Strength Co. store. This podcast is powered by the Strength Co. I got to put my little sales pitch in there. But no, the Brika is like kind of amazing. It's aluminum. It's made in Italy. You can't break it. You can break the handle if you put the pot in your sustainment pouch in the front of your main pack, and your main pack gets thrown off the truck. You can break the handle, but you can't break the functionality. No, it's been great. I mean, it's been like the 20s and 30s, nice and cold in the morning. And the Brika is like, and it's like good coffee. Big fan of the Brika. The Monster or the energy drink is just like, I don't understand. Like, Marines love Monsters.
Dude, they still have the big, like 155
BFC. You say it. My mom's listening, so you can say what it stands for.
Monster. Yeah.
I think it's big freaking can.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. They still have those Monsters. I don't get. Do like an energy drink once in a while. I had a Zions this week. A little mango guavo. Throwback to little TBS days.
I feel like you can only get those on military bases.
You can.
Now. They don't sell those.
Place. I've never seen them anywhere else.
They don't sell them. I've never seen them anywhere else.
Yeah.
They're not bad.
Zions, they're not bad. But the Brika has been good. Field craft. What I've always said is Navy SEALs are super bad at field craft. Artillery officers that put all their sleeping gear on the back of their trucks, they're good at field craft.
What coffee are you brewing?
So I've been using a Cafe Bustelo. When you go into the coffee aisle and there's like whole bean, Major Pete's. I hope one day Pete's Coffee makes Major Dickerson. I want to know who he is. I hope one day they make a Major Broggi blend. But, you have all these different blends. And then there's like the canned coffee, like in the aluminum can.
Yeah.
So it's fine ground. That works best in a Brika. It's not espresso. You need 9 bars of pressure for an espresso. So like when you're at the barista and the blue-haired girl's like turning the knobs and you get the nice creamy froth and it's like a tree or a heart. That's 9 bars. That's espresso. I used to think espresso was about the grind or the ground or the roasting. It's not. It's about the pressure that the coffee's put through. So technically a Brika is not espresso, but it has the pressure valve in it. So it separates like the fluid and it makes a crema top. So it's kind of like a Guinness. So yeah, it's pretty good. We have a whole routine, you know. Put on music while I'm shaving. My driver makes his coffee and he drinks it, and then I make mine while he's shaving. It's like a whole thing. Yeah. You know, yeah.
How many, do you have any vehicle issues?
No, everything runs great. Big up armored Humvee guy. That's what I've always said. Like you get an up armored Humvee. Like the first thing is like, I can see the world. I can see everything. Like there's definitely not 2 layers of glass with hard watermarks. It's just like clear view. It's like a Tesla basically.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you hit 30 miles per hour, nothing feels like it's going to rattle off. And nothing does rattle off. It's not like your antenna mount just unscrews and falls off. Your back doors don't open while you're driving. It's just
that's never
the up armored Humvees. Man, talk about. Okay, I'm going to stop being.
Just love when there's a small
Smedley
slope.
Butler was right. War is a racket.
Yeah, when there's a small slope that it's like parked on, and you got to either get in or out, and you're like, well, this is how I lose my leg. Like the door is just gonna like shut, and it's just gonna whoop.
The top of my head right now is swollen because I've hit the top of my head getting into the up armored Humvee, Kevlar on or off, at least 15 times in the last week. Like I have like multiple bumps.
TBI.
Yeah, TBI. Yeah. Thanks, taxpayer. Yeah. No, it was pretty funny. We were driving down MSR Boston, and the back doors just fly open. And I'm like, hey, quick hold. And the driver's like, oh, sir, I got this. And he like guns it and then hits the brakes, and both doors like boom. I'm like, you're right. You do have it. I love it.
All right.
Keep trucking.
Done.
You know what? The sun's going down. Let me put on this pea hole size of a dime night vision goggle that I can take $4 million of equipment and 140 lives through and make sure that they're okay. I got this.
And then the driver has his up. He's like, oh, sorry. I can see better without it.
No. Hey, PCCs, PCIs, everyone check their AVGs. Everything's good. Okay. Godfather 6, Oscar Mike. Sir, my driver can't see. You've been sitting in the vehicle for an hour. What do you mean he can't see? Yeah, he's just now putting on his MVGs. Oh, my God. Anyway, I digress. Not my unit. Not my buddy's unit.
No. Yeah. Okay. Well, we talked about all the
lingo?
stuff. Almost there. We talked about chow going in. We talked about coffee going in. But when you're out in the field, sometimes stuff's got to leave the body. Talk about taking a dump in the field.
Let me let Trey open that one up.
Did you have any porta potties?
So, according to Joey, our range briefer, listen, trash, you got to secure that trash. It's not your range. It's your battalion commander's range. You got more than 10 people in a range area. You need porta-johns. Okay, you got more than 10 and you're calling the bear mat. You need a porta-john. Don't expect me to put your porta-john there. You got to call your porta-john in.
Is he Cajun or East Coast?
So it took me a minute to go back to East Coast. I had
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, hey, 3, Copso, do I need to put in porta-john? Oh, no, it's covered. SLTE, we got you, brother. Get to the pause. There's no porta-johns. I'm like, so Joey said, he's like, yeah, Joey's full of it. I'm like, okay. Yeah, there's no porta-johns. So tell me, Trey, let the listeners know, because it's tough, right? You're a young lieutenant. You're out bar hopping in Encinitas. You meet a nice woman. And she's like, what are you doing this weekend? You're like, I'm going to the field. She's like, are you a farmer?
Farmer.
And you're like, no, I am from Nebraska, though. Like, I don't think people understand. Can you tell us what it's like?
One, the good thing about MREs, which I don't know if this is accurate or not, is they tend to kind of plug you up for a little bit, right?
We call that a transition. Yeah.
Would you say so?
Oh, yeah. It's 100% say so.
So it depends how long you're in the field for. I had Marines, if we were doing like an overnight field op, they would just hold it.
Yeah.
They would just hold it.
As one does.
But if you're any longer than that,
take me through a week longer.
You're going to have to go probably about day 2 to 3.
Yeah.
It's going to hit like a freight train. And you're like, all right, I got to go. Everyone is kind of on the same clock at that point.
Yes. Everyone is completely synced up.
Yeah. Everyone's synced up at that point. And so if you have a good
gun line, chief in the FTC, whoever it might be, they will bring, I don't know. We always called it the Cadillac. Oh, I know where you're going with this.
And so someone would fashion themselves, if you didn't have Porta Johns, which it was probably 80% of the time you didn't have one, someone would fashion some sort of seating device. And some of them were really fancy. Some of them were not as fancy. It was essentially just a wooden crate half the time for you to sit down on out there. And so that's what I use the majority of the time. And you take that.
A metal folding chair with a hole cut through it.
Exactly. Yeah. I've seen that before. Someone fastened a
toilet seat strapped to it.
A toilet seat to the metal chair. I've seen that before, which was pretty nice. You just got to clean it before you bring it back. But what you do is you grab it and you just take a walk. And depending, you just try to. It's harder where you were in 29 Palms because you try to get a little bit of privacy, right?
I mean, you try,
right? So you take a walk, 5-10 minutes, however long that might be.
I mean, that's how the Lance Corporal got lost whenever that was. He started walking one direction. Yeah, you start getting nervous, like, oh, this is the desert. I could get lost. But yeah, you walk, and then what do? Just like for the listener. You don't have to get graphic. For the listener, though, I don't think they understand.
Yeah, you take a beat. If I was in 29 Palms, I would face a direction that's a little bit scenic.
Yeah.
And I would you do your business.
Yeah, but like you dig a hole.
Oh, yeah. You always dig a hole, right?
Oh. Well, we do have, excuse me, Mom, but this doesn't hit home unless you say it as it's known. We do have a surface shitter right now. And we're trying to figure out who the surface shitter is.
Well, it used to be me. I was like, I'm not digging a hole.
But you dig a hole. You literally sit over the hole. If you're lucky, you're ops chief. Or if you're on a gun line, you have the ammo crates, which is like a nice little square deal. And you push that over the hole.
Dig a shallow hole.
You dig a shallow hole. Or my preferred method is take the E-tool, put it at a 90-degree angle, dig about 1 foot deep. Then take the E-tool, slam it down in front of you. Take your left hand, put it on the handle of the E-tool. Take your right hand, strap your belt around the waist of your pants and pull it up out of the way. And then you have like leverage. You have you're stabilized by the left hand. You got tension on the right hand. And then like every time like you get it perfect, here comes like a Huey section overhead. And they know. I think
they're looking for you.
They're literally looking for you, and they come down low, and like you could see the gunner wave at you, and you're like, "Yeah, brother, like here I am." Yeah,
I don't know. I've seen it's easier in the woods. So when we went out to North Carolina,
Thunder, tell me more.
Ooh. Man, it's all you do is you dig a hole beside a tree, and you hug a tree, and you kind of squat down.
Oh, so your face is towards the tree.
Face the tree, and you
I would have
hug
gone the other way, personally.
You would have leaned back against the tree?
Yeah, lean back and squat. Hoorah.
Too uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so I would always, you just lean back and you hug the tree.
Yeah.
Do your business.
Yeah.
It was always nice because I always liked it because you just like shed all your gear.
Oh, it's the best part. You get out there, you're like by yourself, the most vulnerable you've ever been in terms of like a security position, but you feel completely free to like, I should set my rifle down, take my flak off, and just defecate.
Yeah. And you feel, if you get it going, you feel like $1 million.
Yeah. And then
I was always worried if I was gone too long that they're like, hey, it's time to move. We got to go. And then everyone's packing up.
In Texas, we call that red dirt road.
Anyway.
Anyway.
I don't know. Is your experience the same?
Very similar. Yeah. Jeff?
Same.
Yeah.
So you had someone not digging holes, huh?
Yeah, we got a surface man. We're trying to find him. Every section's like, no, sir. Every time I see a guy cross the berm, he's got an e-tool in hand. I'm like, that doesn't mean he uses it. Like someone is doing the surface work over there.
We took samples. We will find out who this is.
Yeah. It's amazing. And then when you just think about the amount of turds out there from Marines, I mean,
my gosh,
what 1,200 Marines do ITX 6 times a year?
Oh my god!
Like that's a lot of turds. Yeah, just fossilized. Yeah, it's crazy. They're like, you worried about UXO? I'm like, no, I'm worried about digging a hole someone else already dug.
Yeah,
I've done that.
I'm not worried about the mortar. Anyway.
Oh, thanks. Okay, yeah, I think now we have moved to the slangs. I think these are all slangs. Some of them are for sure. Other ones I don't know. Thurl, THURL.
Yep.
Is that
Forgot
spelled
what
correctly?
that one meant.
I don't know. I've never heard that.
Just read them. Just read them all out.
Okay. Type shit.
Yeah.
TYPE shit.
Yeah.
What's that?
So let me put it to you this way. And I've done a lot of analysis on 140 Marines in the last 8 days. Basically, if you're under 25, you think all this is hilarious. If you're like 25 to 27, you're like, haha, like I know what it means, but I don't like it. And if you're over 30, you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So sorry, Mom. Type shit means like it be like that. And so someone's like, oh man, Gunny's making me do Firewatch. Well, we don't do Firewatch in Godfather, but Gunny's making me sit on the crew serve from 04 to 06. Type shit means like it be like that. But there's this whole other realm. I forgot what thorough means, but there's these guys called the Costco boys or Costco guys. And there's a man called the Rizzler. And the Rizzler's like this midget that was on Jimmy Fallon. And he's like, do you guys know about the Rizzler?
I've heard of him. I don't know anything.
I don't think he's a midget. I think he's just a kid.
Or a child.
I don't think he's a midget
midget child, but he's overweight. And he like scratches his chin and then like rubs his neck. And then he has the Riz. And I felt like a boomer. I'm not a boomer, but I'm like, I don't understand what this means. They're like, oh no, sir. Like it means he has the Riz. I'm like, well, what's Riz? And they're like, well, it's like he's got game. I'm like, well, where does Riz?
I think it's short for charisma.
It is. It is short from charisma, which none of the people explain to me know what that word means.
They've never heard that word.
They've never heard that word. And they're like,
you should have told me it means Riz. Yeah.
So they go out and they like rub their chin and rub their neck and they do the Riz. And then there's these guys called the Costco guys that like had the Rizzler on and they do this thing called 3 big booms. And so my driver's 20 and he's like, sir, ask Corporal such and such for 3 big booms. And I'm like, what? He's like, the Costco guys do it. And I'm like, what? And so I'm like, hey, Corporal Gottlich, give me 3 big booms. And the Marine's like, boom, boom, boom. Like, if you're not watching this on YouTube, you should. Like, it comes with like a fist, like sideways. And I'm like, okay, you planted him. And then he's like, here comes Lance Corporal Biggie. Ask him for 3 big booms. Boom, boom, boom. And like everyone knows it. Like every single person. Yeah, my point is, I put it in there because I don't understand how young people talk anymore at all. There's also something called Ohio. This is my favorite one. So there's like this thing called like, that's Ohio. And it means 2 things. And it either means like Ohio doesn't exist or Ohio sucks. And I kind of,
I can get on board with that.
I kind of like both of them. And so like, you're like, oh, you have to do this. Oh, that's Ohio. And it's like, oh, yeah.
I like that.
I like that one. Yeah.
Using the state of Ohio as like, that's dumb.
Yeah. The Rizzler. Yeah. There's something called skippity toilet. And it's like a guy's. Yeah. Do you know about this, Jeff?
It's just like, I don't know what it means, but I've heard the word.
It's like a guy's face, like swirling down a toilet, but that wasn't the original meaning. Yeah, it was weird. And so then I've been using them to relate to the Marines. So I'm like, type shit. He's got Riz. Skivity toilet. And the Marines
probably incorrectly.
Every time. And the Marines think it's like hilarious. So then they're like, sir, we hear you say on the radio you want to break bread. Can you come break bread with us? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I go over there and they're like, I'm like, you guys are trying too hard now. There's no way people say the things that you're saying, but yeah, there's a whole new language out there. Gunny doesn't.
To be fair,
it's terrifying.
When Grant was also that age, he still didn't know what the U's were saying. So
no,
Grant's just an old soul.
Yeah, just an old soul. Yeah.
Been an old soul.
Yeah. We got any important slides to cover?
That's it. That's all I got.
Trey, thanks for updating your slides. We always appreciate the four. Just
change.
Hey, actually, I got a question.
Okay. Ooh.
It's about working out.
I was gonna say we need an amateur lifting update, but we'll start with your question.
It's going good. Doing a healthy mix of lifting and getting the heart rate up, doing some cardio. How much do you pay attention to heart rate while you're lifting?
Not very much.
Is that something you should pay attention to or no?
Yeah, I think if like you're starting and you're doing 3 sets of 5, 5 sets of 5, whatever your thing is, and like if your heart rate's super elevated, then your ATP is not replenished. And so if you're intelligently strength training, then if your heart rate's coming down, that's also a sign that your ATP is coming up and you're ready for another heavy set. I think Rippetoes says something like get your heart rate below 100. Depends what I'm doing. If I'm like in a really serious training cycle and trying to set a PR, like I'm probably making sure. If I'm just like I haven't squatted in 7 days, 8 days, 9 days, longest stretch, been in the field. So I'm probably not paying attention to it if I'm coming back from like a layoff or whatever, because it's a little bit lighter. But no, I don't. I mean, I just think the rule is like 3 minutes rest between sets. If you finished your gassed, what is that equivalent to heart rate? I don't know. Are you overweight? Are you
it's basically just an indicator of
being rested for the next set. Yeah. No, I think it's useful. Like, I mean, but I just wouldn't like be a stickler about it. Like, oh, my heart rate's 105 until it gets down to 100. And I mean, Jeff's the long, slow distance and the fast running guy. Like this Garmin watch, Garmin Solar Tactical, potential sponsor, Garmin watches. Like this heart rate compared to when I wear the chest monitor, completely two different things. So like if this still says 110 and I feel ready to squat, I'm squatting again. So I think the accuracy of the device probably matters a lot, but
gotcha.
Yeah. What's the amateur lifting update?
Oh, like I'm still just doing like one set. It's one set, like one workout. That's what I meant to say. One workout like per day. And I'm doing like three to four a week, but trying to do some more movement stuff, walks, a little bit of interval runs, that kind of stuff too. So
Okay.
Nothing too exciting. Same old.
All right.
Nothing new to report.
Gets the job done.
Well, this has been your Saturday surprise. You thought we were done. We're still here.
Gotcha.
Real quick.
Do we have an ad read?
What is it? 056?
056, indeed.
Episode, we'll just get this in here so it's in here. Episode 056 of the Okay Guidons. Okay. It gets better every time. Podcast powered by the Strength Co. Here's an ad read from former Marine Corps Captain Nolan Hickey.
Listen up. Preach. Tax season's coming up. You got to get out there. You got to get organized. BWTaxLLC.com. One-stop shopping.
That was it.
Short but sweet. Yeah.
Say more, say less. Any save rounds or alibis, Jeff?
Nothing for the group.
Nothing for the group. I'll talk to you offline. Trey?
Yep, same.
Nah, you have to do your thing. You're trash 6 right now. You have to make sure that everyone knows your commander's schedule.
Oh, yeah, no. It's just, I know we covered it once or twice. I just got to reiterate it. If you got trash guys, where does trash go?
In the trash can?
In the
there
trash
it
can.
is, yeah, in the trash can.
Or the dumpster.
Or the dumpster.
Or the garbage.
Or your cargo pocket.
Ooh.
Or if you dig a deep enough hole. it goes
Don't be
in
the
there.
surface marine. Don't be the surface marine.
That's it. That's all I got.
No, you got to do the little thing where you
What would
sign
your
us off.
guidance be?
Is it time to sign off?
Yeah, but what would your guidance be real quick for if it
Save
doesn't
round alibi? Jeff, go ahead with your
if
save
it
round
doesn't
alibi.
grow, what would your guidance be for those items?
Well, I would
what's
say
that?
if it doesn't grow, it has to go, right?
That's what you've always
Okay,
said.
that's good. Okay,
Should it
okay.
go?
Copy.
Yes.
We will.
And it has to.
We'll get that down to the lowest level.
Yeah, we will echelon that down to the strategic corporal. If it doesn't grow, it goes.
Hold on.
Oh,
We gotta get serious.
backwards hat. That's like a
Backwards
bean
hat
cover
it.
in the main side PX. Okay.
Let me go ahead and sign us off here. This is episode 056-ish, I believe.
6.
056 of the
Okay.
podcast. As always, we are powered by the Strength Co. If you're watching on YouTube, you see that beautiful sign behind Mr. Coach Broggi. I'd like to thank them as always. Also like to thank our sponsors, Mr. Helmet, Green Gridiron, Gridiron Green. Just click the link below. Get yourself a helmet. Small. If you got a small head, they got small helmets. Got a big head, normal head, they got normal helmets. And they got all the helmets you need. Talk to BW Tax. I believe the sooner you talk to BW, the better rate you get. The longer you wait, you got to pay a little bit more to get his services. Tax season's coming up quick. Get with him. Thank you for keeping the lights on as always. Also, look at the link below. You will see the Slack link. Click that. Use code OK. Get a little discount. Love to talk to you about lifting. Got any questions about that? If you got any questions about life, just like how to do it, that's where I get all my answers from. If you go to www.theokpodcast.com, you will see the social media accounts there. Give us a like, a follow. Same thing on YouTube. We also have our each and individual social media accounts that we are very active on, especially Jeff. Jeff is, look at him right now streaming. The only one, you cannot find us on TikTok, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, I think Trump brought it back. I don't know.
Did we get on Red Note? Did we get on Red Note yet?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, is that a new one?
It's like a 1,000% like Chinese government owned one.
That's too bad. I'm very active on that. It looked legit to me. I've been pushing LinkedIn a lot. Other than that, Coach, did I miss anything?
That's it. Go to www.theokpodcast.com. Thanks for tuning in this Saturday surprise. We'll see you next time.